Alrighty, this is the Browning BLR preview and review that I'm doing at the moment. Probably my final video for this rifle. So I'm just going to go through some of the basics that you get included with the rifle. You get the Browning lever action rifle owner's manual. That usually just goes through all the different operations of the rifle, how to use the half cock feature, the full cock, all that sort of thing. There is no safety with this rifle, so you have to be very mindful of that. It's a real old, Western classic style rifle, which is pretty cool because there's no tang safety in any of that sort of thing. None of that rubbish. Loading in the chamber, that sort of thing. Just the usual stuff that you get in your manual, and how to do sight adjustments, all that sort of thing. I will come back to the sights in a minute, because there's quite an important bit of information that you need to know about that. It also talks about, this manual also talks about why it's not wise to disassemble the receiver, and in particular the rack and pinion system. From my understanding, if you do not get the gearing absolutely correct once you've reassembled the rifle, the action, you could have some pretty devastating consequences because of the head space. That could be slightly off, and then when you go to shoot it, it could just bolt and come flying out your face, something like that. So I don't recommend that. You also get a warranty card. Just comes with the usual warranty sort of stuff, and congratulations for buying the firearm from Browning and all that sort of thing, and then it's a quality product, which it is, which it definitely is. I haven't actually filled out the warranty card because I really had no need to do it, because I knew it would be fine. You don't get this Allen key, and I'll explain that in a moment. This is the rear iron sight for it, which I've taken off, and it is adjustable. You've got your windage and your elevation, which is this little screw here, this flathead screw here, and you have a very small rear sight V, I guess you'd call it, something along those lines. It's a pistol sight. To be honest with you, I don't really enjoy it that much. I don't think it wasn't a very pleasant sight to use. It requires a lot of concentration, especially with the front gold front bead sight at the front of the rifle. Look, it just doesn't really work. If you've got the wrong lighting conditions and that sort of thing, it's just a real pain to use. These are your little scope mount screws that come with the rifle, and I've obviously taken them out because what I've done is I've replaced it with this Picatinny rail here. So yeah, there's the 4 here that's already been drilled and tapped, and they're just the screws that come out once you put your rail of choice on here. And the rail that I've chosen here is the EGW tactical scope mount, which is this one here. And this is the Browning BAR/BLR long action. You must make sure it's the long action, because the short action will not fit. The spacing is not correct with the screws here. So make sure you get the right one. I'll put a link in the description. That was about $100, $100. And you can see they got all these different manufacturers that they also build Picatinny rails for. I highly recommend it, and they also recommend using blue Loctite, which I do have, but I haven't bothered to put it on. It hasn't had any issues, so the screws have stayed in place since I put it on. That was about a year and a bit ago. You also get that's not included in the manufacturer's box. This is optional. That does not come with the rifle out of the box. This one as well, you got the Browning scope base for the BLR TakeDown. Again, you have to make sure it's the long action. If you get the short action one, it's not going to fit, especially for the 300 Win Mag and the other calibers that suit the long action category. This replaces the rear iron sight, so I opted to take the rear iron sight off because I don't think it's that useful, to be honest with you. Especially when you've got a Picatinny rail like this on there as well. It just doesn't work. Putting a traditional scope mount, there's just no point keeping it. So I thought, why not have 2 rails on there and put any sights that I want. And I'll actually grab the other sight in a minute of what I've actually updated it to. since my last video, which is about, yeah, a year and a bit ago. That was about $200. This one was about $200 from Australia, which is pretty expensive, considering all it is just a, you know, an alloy scope mount. So pretty expensive, I think it is anyway. And you also get the padlock that comes issued with the rifle as well. That's straight out of the box. That is out of the box. I mean, most rifle manufacturers now they do offer a padlock.